Yo, she what up?
So today I got my good friend Dallas. Dallas is the best A&R that I know. I know my other friends are gonna be upset. I mean, I just be calling a spade a spade. So for y'all, I met Dallas. He was working the whole MMG, label. He was working Wale, Meek Mill, and then found Roddy. And then Nip was in between that. And then not to say that lightly, you know what I mean, but just but he's a big guy in music, you know what I mean? So I thought it would be good to have him on and talk about music. Am I missing anything from the intro?
Nah, that's pretty. I mean,
yeah,
that's pretty,
so
good.
lots of plaques under his belt.
I don't really talk about K. Michelle.
Yeah. That's what we here to do. We here to just really keep it 1,000. You know what I mean? On here, I really be up front. I be really asking the nigga, yeah, so I mean, you making money or?
Yeah.
I really just, you know what I mean? But so I wanted to get into music. I think that people looking from the outside in have different views and ideas because it's on the outside looking in. One thing that I wanted to kind of talk about was just from the aspect of I think people know that I'm a big independent guy. You know what I mean? And I think people know you to be a big major label guy. You've worked in the major label system for a long time. So I just wanted to get your take on the differences of making the album with the major label and then what you think the difference is between making it independent.
Okay.
And I'll chime in on the independent side if you feel I don't know how it goes on the independent side.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, honestly, the reason I think, the major label was big for me is because, coming into the game, I come from a small city, Flint, Michigan, came out of college, I went to Clark Atlanta University, and I didn't really have no money, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I always had ideas of wanting to get into the music business. But even if I got a talented artist when I was young, I would have no money to buy beats or pay for studio time and things like that. So, which was helpful for me to be part of a major label, is I was able to gain this experience while spending other people's money.
Yeah.
And, it's a lot of, just being in the game, experience is very key in our industry.
Yeah.
So I think if I didn't have a lot of experience that I have now, I probably would have blew a lot of money and wasted a lot of money.
Yeah.
What's been helpful, about being part of a major, I could get some of the biggest producers in the world to be a part of a first project because they know that I'm gonna be able to cut the check.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Which is, it's important sometimes, just so they could feel good about wanting to work with the artist because they know that they're gonna get their money and they might be comfortable. They might not be comfortable with the artist per se, but they might be comfortable with the label. Mm-hmm. So they might be like, well, he's a new artist on Atlantic. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Which is I'm gonna just do it because he's signed to a major. And a lot of times when artists are signed to a major, they always get the cliche he must be good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm glad you said that too because that was a big thing that I just noticed with us. And I just noticed, we've been doing this for 9 years, me and Eric, just doing it independent. What I didn't notice was that when we did the way that we entered the game was writing, right? So we was introduced to the biggest producers because we was writing Chris and Bieber and Usher. So
everybody had relationships.
Yes, exactly. I didn't know that people didn't know who the big and who was working and who was the good writers and you know what I mean. So and it was interesting even the transition of okay, Eric is an artist now, and we thinking
It'll be a layup.
Yeah, like, oh, these the homies. Like, we just gonna go to them. They hard. And it was kind of like especially when we first started, because independent wasn't even like, being independent wasn't as popular. So they didn't even really know how that would work. Like, wait, so I give you the beat, like, even if I did get the upfront, like, do I still get the royalties? Like, you know what I mean? But I can't.
Because they feel like they can't hold anybody accountable for the back end as much as they can for a label. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of time lawyers are, restrict them. So, having opportunities, to have like a real budget that I know I could really pull funds from. I know when you work with a major, I could put them in the best studios off rip, and it's just certain things. It's just like, just a certain advantage you get sometimes with working for a major and, starting on a new project. But if you're independent, you're going to make more money. So it's like the bigger risk, the bigger reward. So like now, not like if I had to, do it now, and like if I sign an artist, I want to sign an artist to me and go independent, because if I have one Roddy Ricch to myself, I could be a multi-millionaire opposed to taking a salary and getting some royalties. You know what I'm saying? So, but I needed the experience, and I needed, artists want to, you got to have artists want to sign you too. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't have any success or nothing to really, tell them, or a story, they might be like, yo, why the fuck would I sign you for? You know what I'm saying? So
what do you think? Why do you think? I don't want to say a lot of artists, but like some artists, where do you think the big backlash comes from when they're like, they sign a deal and then you have somebody like a Meg or like a Rich the Kid or like a Tory, and I'm just naming people that kind of have put it on their socials that they're mad at their label. Like, where does that come from?
I think in the beginning, you don't have that many people in your ear, and a lot of time you start getting success in the music industry, you will draw a lot of attention from managers, lawyers, people that just want a piece of the pie. So the divide and conquer scheme is always a big thing when you have a new artist coming up. And, a lot of times people sign standard deals that aren't bad deals, but they're just standard deals because you don't know if the artist is going to pop, you don't know what's going to happen, and everybody wants to feel like they're doing a safe deal. So once the artist starts selling some records, getting some notoriety, they have more people coming in like, damn, well, let me check out that deal. Dang, they got you down to 5, and they gave you this one. That's what your advance was. I could have got you more than that. Or so it's like a whole thing, because everybody trying to tear you away from your team now. You know what I'm saying? So that's why a lot of managers, when they come into the game and they're new and they're coming up with the artists, and they both started, the artist is new, the manager is new. A lot of times the managers lose their artists. just because it's somebody that's been in the game for 10, 15 years that had 5 or 6 platinum artists. They're like, man, I can take you to the next level right now. You know what I'm saying? Your manager don't even know what he's talking about. So, it's unfortunate that this happens, but it's the music business. It's a dirty game. I mean, it's one of the snakiest games.
With the label, right? Because like on the independent side, like if I want to if I want to do a feature, or if I want to like do a sync, and let me just stay on features, because like a lot of times you're an artist, you get hot, people want features, right? And if you sign to a label, it's like you need to get a clearance. And I see that being the issue too sometimes, because like it's like, hey, this is my homie that I'm doing the feature for. And then the label is kind of like, they just put a strain sometimes on a relationship. Can you explain?
I think that shit's cap, because artists hide behind their labels sometimes when they don't want to clear shit. So they don't want to tell their boys or people that they go around, or niggas that they came up with in the streets, like, yo, because they be doing features for everybody, right? So now they go like, yo, I don't really want to clear that shit. You know what I'm saying? And the label always going to be the bad guy. They don't know the niggas that you grew up with or whatever. But if you're a big artist, you trying to tell me if motherfucking, one of the biggest stars, say Roddy Ricch came like, I want to clear this, you going to say no?
Yeah, I mean,
You
see,
know
that's
what
what I tell people that all the time, though. I be like, bro, I done had records cleared, and I know that the artist could call in and be like, yeah, I cleared that.
If Chris Brown want to clear a record and he has 50 features out and he's like, I'm on 51.
That's interesting that you say that because I just like one of our last singles was with Chris Brown.
Yeah.
And Chris told us straight up, like, look, I cleared my record.
For sure.
And he say, look, it ain't even no call.
Yeah.
You show them niggas this text message.
Yeah.
And this when we good.
For sure. I think he structured his new deal like that too.
Yeah, and you know, I think on the other end where I think that what happens is some artists come in just kind of ignorant to the process in a sense to where like sometimes a label will just be like, yo, your radio record going, I can't clear theirs because your shit going right now. You know what I mean? And a lot of times they don't be understanding that. Like they don't be understanding the process. Like, hey man, we trying to get your record to a certain point.
Yeah.
And then we'll do it.
Yeah. I mean, it's strategy. I mean, labels, you know, you might have an issue clearing something just because they're beefing about another clearance that another, you know what I'm saying, Interscope might not want to clear something for us, and they're like, well, we ain't clearing this for you until you clear that for us. It could be a whole different artist. Okay. You know what I'm saying? It's like a tug of power with the majors too, you know what I'm saying?
Well,
so a lot of that.
Why is it that I hear, and you know, I mean, a lot of times you don't hear the actual deal, like you don't see people's actual deal. You know what I mean? Like as far as like what it actually says in it. But I don't hear a lot of artists that are signed to the label saying that they receive royalties, like a quarterly royalty.
They do, but a lot of times they don't recoup.
Well, why is that?
Because I mean, sometimes it takes a while to recoup. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like sometimes, you know, people might see, oh, your album went platinum, right? But you don't know how much money that artist spent. The artist can work on this album for 3 years and spend $3 million making the album. So it has to get to a certain level of recoupment before royalties are paid. Everybody has to get paid. The producers, everybody, you know what I'm saying?
Do you think that artists know what's being spent? Like, do they okay everything that's being spent?
They know what's being spent and they don't care. They be like, I'll be like, yo, we should go to a smaller studio for the next month because you already spent $300. They like, nah. I want to stay in this is where the vibe at right now. I want to be in this big studio and I want to spend all this money here.
How many artists, what type of artists recoup? Give examples.
Platinum selling artists. They
like
recoup.
platinum singles, platinum albums.
Platinum albums, platinum singles. It just depends. Some artists like for instance, right? Some artists can record in their house, right? Spend no money on studio time, have in-house producers, and they might spend $250,000 to make their whole project. Yeah. And they don't have to go platinum. They could go gold. They could sell. It's easier for them to recoup. But some of these bigger artists, they travel. They got 5-6 people with them sometimes. They in the studio for 3-4 months working on an album, spending $2,500 a day in the studio.
Do they ever get it? Like,
they don't get it until they complain about where's the money at on that side. But they make so much money touring and merch and all these other things and endorsement deals and stuff like that. It doesn't really affect them that much if they're a big artist. Right. But some of the smaller artists, that's why they really don't be eating like that.
So, do you feel like that's what happened with Meg?
I really don't. The Meg thing, I really don't know because she hasn't put out her debut album.
Right. But I'm saying, like, do you like that? That's my theory. I feel like she got in the management deal with Roc Nation, and I feel like it was a day where she was just like, yo, I did this, and this. I should have this much money. And then they was like, all right, well, this was your contract say. So, and then that, cause I don't, how else would it happen? You think Roc Nation was just out of nowhere, was just like, yo, we need to renegotiate your shit? Or do you think she was like, hey, where's the money at?
I don't know.
You're trying to be politically correct now.
I mean, I deal with Roc Nation with some of my artists, so, it's just, they
Alright, we can
They're good. They're a good management team.
That's
they go hard for their artists.
So you know what's interesting? I like throughout my career, I've dealt with like a lot of A&Rs and a lot of labels, and to me, it seems like they're the most like politically correct people. Like they don't really like ruffle feathers.
It's
like
hard.
Are y'all taught that at the like?
It's hard. So the biggest thing about our job is having good relationships with a lot of companies, a lot of buildings, because I could sign 3 new acts and they want Rock Nation. So if I'm shitting on them, it's gonna be hard for me to get my process done with them because they're gonna be like, they're just gonna create a strain on my relationship with my artists. You know what I'm saying? Not even just them. I don't want to sing with them. It could be anybody. You know what I'm saying? So my biggest thing is I just do good business. I'm very to the point. If I have an issue with somebody, I'm direct with that person. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like you don't want to have enemies that you don't know about.
But you when you get into it with them, is it like an argument or is it like? Because what I've witnessed is there is no like real argument. Like you will be getting like it'll be me. I'll be like I'm very like
I mean.
They won't really get at you back like that. Like it's
disagreements, and it's you got to talk them through. You got to talk it out. Because at the end of the day, nobody's going nowhere. So we got to figure it out. So I mean, listen, management are always going to do what's best for their clients. So they're always going to give the labels a hard time because they're always going to fight for more for their artists. And sometimes it's not deserved. And sometimes it is. So
on this show, right? We've been talking about superstars lately.
Yeah.
Like, everybody has like different opinions on this. This climate and like generation is kind of different in a sense to where like the social media is very much present and there's like a lot of options and things are like changing. So in superstar talk, there's been a lot of people that feel like there's going to be a lack of superstar and maybe it's even going away. And we've referenced you on here before because Roddy is on his way to like superstardom.
Yes.
But in a unique way to this climate because he hasn't done any of like the gimmicks and the opening up of us knowing who he is as a person and like his social media isn't like he's on there, you know what I mean? Like, why is that? Like, what is it about Roddy to where he's like an anomaly or exception to the rule of like, I don't really have to post and I don't really have to let people in and I don't really have to do a gimmick. I don't got to be on Shade Room. I just kind of
all right, so like with him, he's really antisocial in terms of he doesn't he don't need a lot of friends. He got his core people that he mess with that he believes in. He don't really like going to the clubs, but he makes great music, right?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, everybody who's lasted in the music business, it was just about hit records. You know what I'm saying? So even when we were coming up, we didn't know a lot about like the personal life of like Michael Jackson or some of the big stars that were big. They all had it was all behind the curtain. Like nobody really knew.
But nowadays, that's kind of what the consumer is kind of like. They're almost tuning into a channel, and if that channel isn't giving me what I want, then they're like going to the next channel.
I think when the streaming shit started and social media started getting big, I think people started feeling like, oh, you have to be on social media all day. You got to be connected, engaging with your fans and stuff like that. And I think it started getting away from music. I started feeling like people started becoming bigger, known for their social media or their antics and things like that instead of actually putting out great music. You know what I'm saying? So I think people start feeling at a point like, oh, no, you got to be more present online or you got to be doing these things. And they were getting away from actually making music. You know what I'm saying? Because they were like, oh, well, I got to do this, I got to post or be with the hot chick or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And they weren't making hot records no more. You know what I'm saying? So I think right now the music business going back into an era of substance. Artists just having to make good music, and that's how you sell records. You know what I'm saying? So
I honestly was telling people that you had a big part in him not having to do those things because someone like Roddy being in the program like yours, where everything was clicking at the same time. So like you can put him in with Meek, and Meek, because of your relationship, put his arm around bro in a different way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then like your relationship with Nip.
Mm-hmm.
Nip was willing to put his arm around him in a different way where the consumer could kind of see like, wait, this is different than just like a regular feature.
Yeah.
Like they really fuck with him, but it was kind of through you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, do you feel like
I feel like if the music wasn't dope though, they wouldn't have did that.
Right. No. I mean, we know like Roddy is like one of my favorite artists.
For sure.
So you know what I mean? And I think that, you know, he's just doing good music. Like I told you repeated times that the album was gonna do well and and I think because there's just nothing else to listen to. There's really no good music to listen to.
Mm-hmm.
What's wrong with music now? Like, what's up with music? Like, why is there so much mediocre music? What's up?
I mean, I feel like artists ain't really putting that effort into it like they used to. I think people not taking the time. I think they're rushing music out. I don't think people have the right people around them all the time to tell them, like, you know, to push them. Like, me and my artists, we always have the biggest debates, disagreements, and everything because I'm willing to them be mad at me for a week or two by keeping it real with them or telling them, you know what I'm saying, how I really feel about the music and things like that. And a lot of people are scared to have that, you know, with their artists.
Yeah, because I think that has a lot to do with society as a whole. Like, I think people are being able to see what's out there now. Like, they're being able to see people get on private jets and hop in these Cullens and, you know, going on vacation and blah, 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 blah. And when they are on the team, like, they want to be able to post.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They want to be able to go to Cancun and be on the ATVs and post. And a part of them doing that is not ruffling feathers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's a big part of why we're kind of like stagnant, because nobody is really like right now, like nobody is going to say publicly like albums are not good.
Yeah.
People that are in the music industry. You only really hear like consumers and outsiders really being able to say like, nah, that album was trash. Like even us right now, we might not, the albums that came out this week, we'll have a private conversation about what we like, but we might not say it publicly. Like,
yeah, that's true. I mean,
are we a part of the?
That's the thing. Like, I think some people like name just carry more weight when it comes to that. Like, if I say an album was whack publicly, I don't know who that's gonna affect. It's gonna affect the artist.
Like you don't know what producers.
I don't know producers. So it could just.
But that's what I mean. It's like, but are we supposed to be quiet about it?
I'm not a critic for everybody. So
I know, but even just.
It makes it easier for me if people keep putting out black music, because that means our records will stay at the top. So,
I mean, that's what's happening.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, look, until the artist is coming to me asking for help and stuff like that, it's none of my business for real. Now, if it's, you know, if I have friends and you working on something, you come play me stuff, like I'm going to keep it real with my peers and stuff like that. But, you know, outside of that, it's like really none of my business, really. Like,
yeah. I think that's happening like outside of music too. Like, I just think that people are like just, it's become a thing where like you don't speak on nobody's thing. Like
people sensitive as hell.
Yeah, like why is that?
I mean, it's just a new world, man. Like people communicate so much through computers now. You know what I'm saying? People are scared to have their hard conversations. I done had an artist, I'll be on the phone with him, we'll have like a disagreement, they don't say much, and they'll send me a text message, like a paragraph, explaining how they feel about what we just talked about. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes it's easier for them to communicate like that. So, you know, everybody's different. I think, you know, the new generation, they really haven't had to have that tough conversation with people direct. You know what I'm saying? Because they can always, you know, write a text message or DM. You know what I'm saying? There's just so many different ways to communicate now.
I feel like the world is becoming a worse place. Yeah. Honestly. Yeah. Like, I feel like people are more likely to just be selfish and kind of like disregard feeling, and I feel like that is why, is because like these kids are growing up like not really having to have tough conversation. They don't like play outside and like they don't have fights. You know what I mean? Like they don't really, like, to me, live real life. Like they live in a whole different life, and I feel like, do you feel like it's getting worse?
Yeah, I mean, for sure, because, I mean, just like you just said, like, there's no interaction no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, people meet each other that date online. You know what I'm saying? Like, imagine, like, it's the norm now. Like, how'd y'all meet? Instagram or...
Yeah, one of my homegirls was like, I'm on 5 dating apps. I was like, what? 5 dating apps?
Like, we literally had to go up to a girl and holler at them back in the day.
Nah, you know what I'm saying?
And it was just like our work ethic was different. Like, I came out, like, I was a promoter in high school and college, so I had to go pass out a flyer or get people to come to the party. Nowadays, somebody just post their shit on their Instagram or their Facebook and come to my party. They didn't have to do none of the legwork. And everybody just wants immediate results. Nobody wants to put in the work. Everybody sees where I'm at now, and they're like, oh, I want that life. But they don't know the 2 years I interned for free, or all the steps I had to take to get to where I'm at, you know what I'm saying, to get to this level. So, you know, all the kids want immediate results. Everybody want a ball. Nobody wants to work no more. And nobody wants to play their role. Everybody want to be the boss.
Yeah, it's terrible, man. I mean, I've even seen it now to the point where, like, I've always been a person that, like, wanted my own stuff. Like, I didn't want to be the person that's like just hanging with people that have stuff. Like, for sure. I always wanted to be the one that's like, I rented the boat for us. You know what I mean? Or like, not even for us, just like, you know what I mean? I want to go on the boat. I'm gonna rent. Like, but now I'm saying, like, it's like people that professionally just hang with people so they can look like
professional homies.
Yeah, like, dang, that's crazy. I never really put it like that. I was just like professional, like Instagram people that make their life look lit, but they go back and live like, I almost know they whole little get down. Like, first they come out here from like another city, another state, and there's like pressure from back home because
to look good.
Everybody know that you moved, so it's like you got. I don't know why they feel like they instantly have to just be on.
I mean, you know, people move to LA for that though. You know what I'm saying? It's the facade. You know what I'm saying? And just even with a lot of girls that I met out here, man, like they after 2 years they just disappear. You be like, damn, did they move back to their hometown? They wouldn't even let you know. Right. They be on Instagram the whole time. Either they don't move back to their hometown, got pregnant, or just some wild shit, or they had to get a regular job. And they don't want to admit that they.
But like, what's so bad about a regular job?
Nothing, man. It's nothing. It's just people. Think about it, bro. Like, a lot of bad chicks don't work no more.
I mean, a lot of everybody don't work no more. Like, I feel like it's like a thing now where it's like, it's not the cool thing to have a job. Like, niggas will work somewhere and not say that part. Like, niggas be like, oh, what you do? Oh, I'm an artist. Yeah. Like, but you're not popping yet, so what do you do to make money? And they will not let you know. Like, what is that?
Bro, I don't know. It's bad, man, because I think it's just like a social pressure and it's just. I
want to let y'all know there's nothing wrong with having a job. And when I was growing up, and it's still to this day, it's nothing not cool about having money.
Yeah.
Like, everything is all bad if you don't have no money.
Man, it is.
Like, it's nothing not cool about it. Like, it's cool to have money. And to have money, you have a job.
Yeah.
It's cool.
I mean, but bro, like a lot of these, I mean, think about it, man. Like, Instagram to change the game. Like, the baddest chick from Idaho could get hollered at by an NFL or basketball player and be in LA tomorrow at the game. You know what I'm saying? In the friends and family section. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
sometimes it work out where
a lot of times it works out. That's why they be going so hard.
But I think we're seeing like a transition where I think we're seeing where it was like, all right, the thing was like, all right, the girl come out here, get with the dude.
Mm-hmm.
The whole goal was like to have a baby by the dude. Get the child support, I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
But I think girls are starting to see niggas is like lawyers and everything is starting to figure out how to like, all right, I had a baby, but you only getting $2,000 a month.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think we starting to see like a change. I think, you know, of course they gonna be slow to it, but there is like a change where it's like, I'm sure girls, you know, is witnessing it now like, damn, okay, that's not the play no more. Like,
Yeah.
At least the baby part of it.
Yeah.
But them looking good as far as like being at the right places and shit. That, I mean, that works.
Yeah.
They definitely gonna.
That's never gonna change though. That's been centuries of that going on.
So you know, people don't know, and you know, because your roster is like all rappers.
Yeah.
But I've had the pleasure of knowing that you love R&B music.
Yep, for sure. I definitely want to get into it more.
Yeah,
in the next couple of years. So.
And you know, that's been like a topic of discussion lately. Is like, I think that tweet was like taken out of context or out of proportion in a sense to where,
was talking about?
Yeah, where she was just. I think she was saying like, "Yo, people need to
support it more."
Yes.
Yeah, I got that. I felt it that way.
Yeah, and but it does raise the question of like the state of R&B is in a bad place. Yeah. In a sense to where like there are really no superstar R&B acts. There's just like some there. I don't want to put nobody down, but that niggas is cool.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like why?
I don't know, man. Like I mean, I know we was coming up. A lot of R&B artists were vulnerable. They really, you know, love women. Talk about how much they love women. I think everybody just want to be. They just see how much, I think, acclaim or attention rappers get, and they want to be hard and they want to like give off the same persona, because you know, like a lot of R&B was labeled as soft. Like, you know what I'm saying, you soft, you do R&B, so everybody want to be the tough guy. But I don't know, man. Like hopefully, like within the next few years, though, we can find some artists that kind of.
Do you think the music is the music the issue?
Nah, because there's dope R&B music out there. I think a lot of people just haven't been supporting it. You know what I'm saying? Or wanting to really listen to it.
I've been saying that R&B artists are just not like open. Like we don't know who they are.
Yeah.
But that is part of when Roddy comes up, because we kind of don't know who he is either.
Yeah. And like I said, it comes out to the music too. And a lot of R&B though, like a lot of big R&B artists, they were dope performers. And I feel like the art of performing isn't where it used to be, because I feel like a lot of artists are not being developed. Because they're getting a record might go, they're getting signed, they never really did any shows, and they're thrown out into the jungle. And
so
they don't really have the tools.
You think that an R&B act like it's harder to perform an R&B song than a rap song? Like
for sure. Rappers don't really be performing, bro.
They
you know the words, they good. They be out there, 60 things on stage. And this is a movie. You know what I'm saying?
You think that R&B artists do you think they need to dance?
I don't think they need to dance, but I think they just have to have, like a level of just like for instance, right? I went to a show that had some of the old R&B performers, and I saw Keith Sweat perform. And he wasn't just dancing like, Chris Brown shit, but he still like, you know what I'm saying? He was performing. He put on a show, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like Bobby Brown, he was there, but they still put on shows like Chris Brown could dance his ass off. Like,
but he's the only R&B act that can do an arena right now. Yeah. I mean, other than probably like Usher. But I feel like all the R&B acts that you name that or could name right now that could do an arena, they dance.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely.
Except for if you call The Weeknd R&B, he's an exception.
Yeah, he's pop though, but he's R&B pop.
See, yeah. So I mean, but to my point, you know what I mean? Like the R&B acts that are bigger, because even Rihanna, she'll put a little. You know what I mean?
She'll perform.
So that's why I'm like, do they need to dance? Like,
I think you just need, if you don't dance, hopefully you play an instrument, or you add different elements to the show that just keeps the fans engaged with it. You know what I'm saying? If you can't dance, you gotta have dancers at your show. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just certain things you could do. You might have to spend more on production, things like that. But I don't think per se you have to dance. But I definitely think people want to go see a show. And if you do R&B music, they want to, you know what I'm saying? They want you to move. They want you to stand in there singing all night.
You know, so how long you been with me?
Since we started in 2011.
So you've been with me for a long time.
Yeah.
So you've been through the ups and downs.
For sure.
That's how I'm getting to. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
What do you think made you? Because I know, you know what I'm saying? I was there kind of too. Like, you know what I mean? We had these kind of talks. And what do you think made you? Because I know, like, you was with him. Yeah. If he don't know, like, you know what I mean? Like, what type of relationship did you have with him to be able to do that? Because, I mean, you don't have to be friends with your artist as an A&R. Like, you can just go to work and...
Yeah. I just felt like we worked so hard to build what we built, and I believe in him. I always felt like from day one, I was like, he can be the next Hov. And when I say that, I mean, like, in terms of being that artist that all the street niggas want to be like, that speak from the streets, that, you know what I'm saying, has that level of just that bullshit, you know what I'm saying? Like that he's going to be one of the leaders, you know what I'm saying, for the next 10, 20 years, from justice reforms to just all the great things he's doing. And I just always seen that for him. And, you know, just like all the work we put in, and just, you know, we built a friendship because all the time we put in with each other and stuff. So when all that shit went down, it was kind of like, I'm going to stick it out with my guy. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm loyal too. You know what I'm saying?
Because it was easy to jump off. I mean, I seen niggas.
I think anybody else would have jumped shit for sure.
Because it was like, everybody was jumping off.
I mean, you couldn't go to the club without hearing back to back around that time.
That was like...
That was a bad summer.
Yeah. It was tough, bro. And I remember, like, it was just like, nah, I'm telling you, bro.
You gonna bounce back.
You gonna bounce back. Yeah. But even me, like, I was even saying, like, bro, like, as much as he probably don't want to be in jail, I remember saying, like, bro, it's going to be like a little Boosie effect. But it's been like a way bigger effect. But I was like, yo, people are going to like, Gucci Man effect.
If he didn't get out, though, you never know what could happen, though. Like, if he had to do 2 to 4 years for real.
Right.
It might be a whole different story for him. Yeah, if he had to do 3 years, I don't give a fuck what you talking about. They're like, nigga, what you talking about? We done moved on. So, definitely, I feel like this. People respected him more because they knew that he went to jail on some bullshit. It wasn't like he did something stupid and he went to jail. I think people were like, wow, like, that's how they doing him. Then people started getting the facts to his case and seeing how he was like, he went to jail for popping a wheelie in 2 to 4 years. And just how the judge used to be on him, and just, she was a bad person. I went to court a few times and I was like, man, this lady's like, when he used to tell me the stories about court and like how they treated him, I knew I was going to go there and see an old white man.
You thought he was lying.
I just thought I was going to see an old white man.
Oh,
I believed him.
Got it.
When I seen it was a black woman that looked like could be one of our aunties, I was like, oh my God. Like, and the way she talked to him in court, and I was like, damn, like, and it was just, It was crazy because it was just like
it seems like him and Jay are like really close. Well, how does that happen?
I mean, I think Meek just reminds Jay a little bit of himself. You know what I'm saying? Because they come from the same kind of struggle, and you know they're just one of those. They just have a lot of things in common. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I think they just hit it off.
Yeah, because I mean, for him to like do what he's done for me, I mean, you have to have some type of care for somebody. I mean, you don't just put up those types of numbers.
And I think though, like Meek went to jail on some stupid shit, like he was in a club fighting some niggas and you know.
Then it would have been different.
Niggas been like, yo, you need to learn this lesson. But they was like, man, this dude was like really on a straight and narrow. He's like take care of his family. He got a whole team of guys that he's taking care of, that he's, you know, taking out the hood, they see in the world. You know, he just giving a lot of opportunity to a lot of people, and he was like, you know, the voice of Philly. And I just think that, you know, when you see that somebody's in jail for like wrongfully convicted or things like that, it's just, you know,
how is he meeting these billionaires?
I mean, he met Michael Rubin at a 76ers game or at an All-Star game, and they just start chopping up because he asks a lot of questions when he's really bright. And he's like, oh, he's really about getting to the money. You know what I'm saying? And when you meet somebody, when you're a billionaire, and people talk to you at a certain point, you're like, okay, this kid is smart. You know what I'm saying? So they just built a relationship, and it just kept adding on. Then Michael Rubin and Kraft are super dope, and then, you know, with all the things that was going on in his career, I think they just, you know, took a liking to him. He's a likable guy.
Because I don't see, like, rappers having billionaire friends like that. Like, I just, like, I mean, I just don't see that. Like, yeah,
it was an organic relationship. I mean, they were, like, really friends. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they talk all the time.
You could kind of tell, like, you know what I mean? And I feel like that was another thing where Jay was like, oh, yeah, like, I mean, he kind of introduced me to some billionaires that he's like kind of like on the same level as me because I got some billionaire friends, but there's not too many of them, so that's kind of unique.
No, that's crazy.
Like that was like something that probably brought them together too.
For sure. And I think too, I think what kind of like bonded their relationship too, because like Michael Rubin talks about how he would Meek would tell him these stories about, you know, all these kids going to jail for all these reasons. Like you'd be like, dang, you went to jail for 3 years for this, and he started telling them about like, you know, all these you know, it's about the justice system. And I think at first, you know, they were like, yeah, black people just say this shit be happening to them and blah blah blah. Then when they start dialing in and seeing that, like, man, these kids is really going to jail with some bullshit for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't have nobody to represent them, and it just
good representation, money,
poor kids. You know what I'm saying? And some fucked up shit. So, you know, I think they kind of wanted to help him. You know what I'm saying? Push the cause, which is dope.
Yeah. How do you meet somebody like Roddy?
I mean, so I had so it was like the December of like 2000, like in 2018, and you know, I had a few interns, and I was just having them scour the internet for talent. Like, yo, bring me like 5 acts a day. You know what I'm saying? Just wherever y'all think was coming off, y'all think some shit dope. And I had an intern whose name was Kiefer, and he was playing Roddy music in his cubicle. And I walked out, I'm like, yo, what's that? He was like, this kid from Compton, he dope. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, yo, you gotta find him, go find him, you know what I'm saying? Let's bring him to the office. So he found him, brought him to the office. And, you know, I got to a stage where I only sign artists once I get in the studio with them, because I need to know your work ethic. I need to know if you're really writing the music. I just need to know your character, all those things, because all those things are important. And when Roddy got in the studio, he knocked out like 3 songs the first time he was in the studio, and they all was like good songs. I'm like, oh, this kid is dope. And he only wanted to be in the studio. His talk was never about all the other bullshit that the kids were talking about. You know what I'm saying? He wanted to really make a change in music. And, you know, he only had like 3,000 or 4,000 followers on Instagram and shit. And this is the time where followers are big. You know how it is. They're like, hey, you got no followers? That's the first thing a lot of labels ask you what your socials like and shit like that. And I was like, nah, this kid is special. You know what I'm saying? And I took a shot.
Yeah, I know. Well, I know you even got an age requirement that you like.
I just like to sign artists when they're younger, just because, if you develop an artist for 1 or 2 years, you want to be able to like really put some albums and really create a legacy with them.
Mm-hmm.
And if I sign an artist that say like in their 30s,
yeah, you only got some other.
if you do 5 albums, you about to be 38, 40. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to have no 40-year-old rapper. You know what I'm saying? So, it's like the youth control the music.
Yeah.
So, I just like to work with artists younger because they don't have as many things going on. When you older, you know what I'm saying? You done been through so many things. Your life could be a little rougher for you. You might have kids, and things going on where you can't focus on the music. And when artists are younger, they have an opportunity to kind of just like pick up and go and do what they need to do.
Yeah. I mean, the kids is really running the whole game.
Yeah.
Like it's a really kid world. Like they're like the dictating what's going on. Like I was just noticing today. Like I felt like Lil Uzi. We knew about the album for a long time.
Yeah.
But I feel like as far as like album rollout, I feel like out of the people who put out albums today, he did the lesser.
Yeah.
Like no interviews, no.
Yeah.
But I think the first album that I know for sure you and I, the first album we listened to was Lil Uzi.
Yeah.
And I think that it's because like the kids is really dictating, you know what I mean? Like, and he has the kids.
Yeah, he has a strong.
He got a strong kid infrastructure, and like it's so funny, like being our age and knowing that this is a kid world, like a kid. Like, how do you stay young? Because I just recently realized, like, oh, we're old.
Yeah, we're old.
We old. Like, I didn't have TikTok on my phone until like 2 months ago.
Yeah, I still don't.
You feel me?
Yeah.
And it's like, but in our world, we have to stay young.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, how do...
I just keep young people around me, young interns. You know what I'm saying? I have my first child, and I play her music all the time.
You playing Maverick music?
Whatever he bounces his head to, I'm like, okay, this is a go.
Right.
If you play the box right now for Maverick, he gonna be like, you know what I'm saying? I'm playing little shit. I remember playing him that, then Yummy, he ain't danced to Yummy. I'm like, okay, cool, we gonna get that #1 this week.
That's funny, man.
But I mean the kids, man, like a lot of the executives I talk to, like, they always be like, man, my son was playing this or my daughter was playing this, and you be like, oh, okay.
Nah, definitely. I definitely know, Wack daughter was playing Blueface. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, who's that? And I know for a fact that's how that happened. And I heard that a lot. Like people's kids be...
They be on all the waves.
Yeah, they be on the waves. And then they dad just so happen to be, you feel me? And they be like, oh.
It's his turn to start making money for us.
Yeah. Man, what it's hard for me to, it's taking a long time for me to, but, so how does the Nip thing with Atlantic is it like you say because it's not like you find it. Yeah. Like it's like Nip is already, you know what I mean? Like
Nip was Nip. But Nip didn't want to sign with nobody. Right.
That's what I'm like, though. So like how does that happen?
So I built a relationship with him. So, Nip's one of those people like you can't really get into a circle unless he really fuck with you, you know what I'm saying? So, I wasn't really like aggressively just trying to sign him. I was aggressively trying to figure out what he needed to better his career and things that, he felt could help him. And I think just like by me just being consistent and just, checking in on him, making sure he comes to the studio and shit like that, I think he really realized, okay, he's just not out trying to just sign me for some bullshit reasons, you know what I'm saying? And it took me like 2 years to convince Nipsey to sign though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't an overnight thing. It was like, I ain't ready for a while.
Because even for somebody like Nip that's like really preaching ownership and like almost anti label, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I can imagine that being tough. Like did he ever like publicly say like, yeah, I'm signed to Atlantic?
Yes, he did. He did a press release, everything.
Oh, like was that like the last album?
Yeah, for Victory Lap.
Yeah. Was it tough to like get Nip to do a radio record?
We never went into it saying we're gonna do a radio record.
Right.
I think the whole goal was to make a body of work that catered to his core and let them push it to mainstream level. But we never was like this album. We were like we're gonna do more features and records. We're gonna kind of like do more. We're gonna try to do bigger records and stuff like that. But the first album was solely for his core.
Yeah. Dude, what was there like more albums ready
after this one? We had more songs, but no album.
Oh, okay. Because I know he records like a lot. He recorded a lot before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He got a lot of songs, but like he was a perfectionist. So, you know, like one thing people be asking, like, yo, you ever gonna put out another Nip album? I'm like, I don't think he would wanted that. You know what I'm saying? Because even with Victory, like he like crafted it to the max. You know what I'm saying? To the last like fucking drop on one of the songs or anything. You know what I'm saying? He was like really, it was really special to him, his music. So I wouldn't want to put out a body of work that I didn't get the okay from him on.
Yeah. All right. So there's no more songs coming?
Only if you hear them in my house.
Damn. I definitely heard songs that I wish that people could hear.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
And that's just like, you know, just out of respect for him and his family. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Dang, dog. Like, I mean, just being a Nip fan from like for a very long time, like, I just know that he really wasn't like a radio, like, I just know that from like even being in the studio with him early, before like people was in his camp, you know, Stat. He was one of the guys that was like really trying to push Nip to do a radio record, and he was just really like.
I think it was all about timing for him. Like,
well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I just feel like it was coming a time where, like, you know, he was like a guy that had foresight that could see like, yo, just trust me, I don't need to do a radio. And it was just coming around to where it was like where those people were having to like eat their words, because it was like, yeah, I see what's going on, right? Like I don't have to put out a radio record, like I'm just doing the songs I want to do.
Yeah. And
then now they going up.
Because I feel like Racks in the Middle was the start of that.
That's
like, the mainstream radio record thing. And I think he was open to it. So, I mean, I feel like that year was going to be his biggest year.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because he was super hungry. He just came off a Grammy-nominated album. His confidence was there. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like he was just ready to do more stuff with other artists and things like that. So
how is that, like, how is, you know, seeing what happened to Nip kind of just translate in your life as far as like living your life?
Like creating a better balance from working and family. You know, I used to just be like, no, I'm just work. But then you'd be like, what you doing it for?
Right,
you know
right. And I think that's the reason why I asked that, because like a lot of my message is like, you know, I think as minorities and coming up like the way we did, like you grew up in Flint, I grew up in Compton, like we come from so far behind that we have to grind so much that it kind of gets embedded. You know what I mean? It only take 2 weeks to form a habit, but you've been grinding for years. So then once you get to a certain place, it's like, it's tough to just be like, okay, I can chill a little bit. And I think like that is like a part of my message, is like, even before you get to the place of like, okay, I can chill a little bit, I think that we should maybe even start with like, okay, what I really want in my ideal life looks like this.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like I would love to live in Sherman Oaks in a 5-bedroom house that costs $2 million, and that note is $8,000. And the car I would love to drive is, I don't know, a Mercedes, and it costs $1,200. And like really add up what your ideal life is, and have like a goal to where when you actually got there, you would kind of know, like, okay, I can kind of start living now, because I just know from being in it that you could very much so just get caught in a place where, like, I was watching, I was watching the Kevin Hart documentary, and I'm watching it and I'm like, dang, bro, like, it was like he was just like, yeah, I want to just keep grinding and grinding, and I was just like,
machine.
Yeah, I'm like, bro, like it's crazy. Like, well, how much? Where do you want to get to? Like, you ain't get what you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I know, like, just from dealing with certain people that are wealthy, there is a such thing as like there's enough. Yeah. As much as like in our culture, like there's never enough. It's because niggas just don't ever think they're gonna get there.
Yeah.
But there is a such thing as like, all right, you got a couple $100 million, like, it's a good chance you're not gonna spend the whole thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then that's where like you should start thinking about like, all right, well, what is it that I want to do? Like, what do I enjoy? Like, do I enjoy bowling? Do I enjoy jet skis? And just like doing those things. So that's why, because that's kind of what death does. Like, when it kind of makes you reflect and be like, dang, okay, this shit can end. So that's why I asked you, like, what did it do?
It make you too, like, appreciate your friends more, and like be there for your friends more, and just like appreciate the little things in life.
Yeah. Do you feel like when you've kind of gained success, you become more isolated?
Yes, because it's less people to share those wins with.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of people, you turn into an ideal, like you're just always focused on you and what's going on in your life, or some people can't handle being around people that are successful and living out their dreams. A lot of people aren't happy, and they don't want to hear about all the good shit that's happening in your life. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's less people you could trust, because more people are wanting to stab you in the back more, or fuck up your relationships with people, or you know what I'm saying? It just gets weird.
It's crazy. Like, we work this hard to get to this place where we want to be, and then to isolate this much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like not want to really associate it. Almost like if we could really just not stay in the house so much, but I guarantee I can say this with kind of, like, you would much rather just go to the studio and go home.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's like, dang, this is what we work for?
Yeah.
Like, this is what I work this for.
And like, spend time with the family, like, go to the games, I love going to the games.
No, right.
It ain't just all that, but it's like, I don't enjoy the club like I used to.
Right. I
used to love the club.
Yeah. Nah, definitely. I mean, me too. Like, and that's a part of me. I was wondering, like, dang, am I old? Like, that was another thing. Like, dang, maybe I am old, because I really I used to love to go to the club. Like, I have ownership in clubs. Like, and it's like, I don't never go to them.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't really enjoy it anymore.
Yeah. And
I'm really focused on doing things that I enjoy and trying to push people to do things that they enjoy. What is it like? I don't even think people really know about your dealings with 2 Chainz.
Oh yeah, so me and 2 Chainz did a label deal together, and we signed 4 artists from Atlanta. and we just put out a compilation project just to give them a platform. Cause they all new artists, so what's dope is 2 Chainz wanted to sign acts that, you know what I'm saying, that he believed in from scratch.
Yeah.
And he's a dope ass, you know, just artist and marketing person, and just overall he knows how to, like, you know, he can carry his weight on some boss shit and having a label and shit. So I wanted to be in business with 2 Chainz a while ago. I wasn't able to get the deal done before he signed officially with Def Jam, just for a solo deal. So we got a chance to work together. So working with these new artists is dope because they're all, you know, up and coming. They're all young, and they're like all hungry. You know what I'm saying? And like I'm in a stage too. It's like I don't work with so many big artists that it's like I know they always don't need me no more, which is cool. And it's like I like to be inspired, and like a lot of the new artists, you know what I'm saying? They keep me inspired and wanting to work and, you know, just be in my bag with the music shit. So, you know, we just put out the compilation, and, you know, now we gave them a platform to get their music out. So now we're just seeing what it does.
Like I'm a big 2 Chainz fan. Like Eric has like 2 singles with 2 Chainz. Like, and for Eric, it's like that's probably too many singles with him, because I did it like back to back, like first one then the next one. And what I know about Chainz is that he hasn't really had a single that's like penetrated in a while.
Yeah, but
you would never really notice because his popularity is like still there. Like his singles haven't affected like his show price.
Yeah.
And it speaks volumes of like who he is. I feel like there's certain artists that are really cool in real life, and then they know how to like transmit it to the consumer, and I feel like he is the best to do that. Where it's like one of those things where it's like the greatest balance of lifestyle and then music. But if I was to do a scale, like, and this was lifestyle and this is music, it would be like kind of like this. And I feel like he is one that you can say like, you know, well, 2 Chainz is kind of like showing you
growth.
Yeah, showing, well, kind of like just showing you who he is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like showing you like, yeah, I like clothes. So a lot of times you go on his gram, he gonna be posting the whole fit. You know what I mean? He kind of like showing you, and he's always been good at like telling you his story. Like, yo, I play ball, like jewelry, I like to look good. He'll just tell you flat out, like, I'm probably just cooler than a lot of these. You know what I mean? Like,
for sure.
And that's why I feel like the next superstar is going to be the perfect balance of knowing how to do gimmick with really good music. Like the next, cause like if you talk about who's the next Kendrick, or who's the next Cole, like do you know how like right now, like do you feel like if Kendrick was to come out right now, the public would appreciate him the same?
Yes.
You think so?
Yeah. You know why? Because he's always put out high level music, so there's no reason to think that he wouldn't. You know, so. And he's just one of those artists that, like, he goes away, and it's just like, when he come back, he just makes so much noise, you know what I'm saying? So, I think he's going to have great success when he drops this year.
Oh, no, that's not the question.
Yeah.
That's not the question, because what's so crazy is, like, Kendrick is one of the few, he just posted yesterday.
Yeah.
What was it about?
It was like the A.G. Lane.
Exactly. You don't know.
Some marketing or
he is one of the only that can do that.
Yeah.
We don't know what the fuck he talking about or what it is, but we're interested. We interested though. We like we all in. Like I was telling my buddies, I'm like, hey, look at the comments.
Yeah.
They really acting like they know
what it is.
What it is.
Nobody
like,
knows what it is.
But he's one of the few that can do that, because like anybody else, they post that and niggas is slandering. Like, nigga, what is this? They making memes, all kind of.
Yeah.
There's none of that with Ken. Like, he's at a place. I just like
him and Drake, like the only ones that could do that.
Right. Drake is like, if you had an artist that you could sign, it was out of Drake and Kendrick. Who would you assign?
Probably Drake.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even a problem.
Yeah.
Why though?
Lifestyle.
Really?
Yeah. It'd be more fun. Have artists like Drake than Kendrick.
Mine's is, I guess I'm just such a money guy. You know what I mean? Because mine's is just like, if you sign Drake,
you go for the rest of your life.
Yeah, I mean, and
Kendrick too though.
Yeah, but Drake is just putting out more music.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just logic at that point. For me, it's just like he's just putting out, and it's like he has, Kendrick is more like artsy in the sense of where he's like, I don't give a fuck about the number one or
nowhere.
Yeah, like he's more so like, but Drake is more so like me. I want all the records, all the top 10, be like, I want to stay in Billboard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And Kendrick is like, I don't give a fuck about none of that shit.
Yeah.
Like, so, but it's funny too, because like, you ask that question, a lot of people do pick Drake.
Yeah.
A lot of people, and I would think that people would be skewed, like, or like, just, like, they're fans of Kendrick. So they're like, oh yeah, I would sign Kendrick. But people are like smart on that.
Yeah.
What? Nah, I mean,
people are smart on that.
No, because a lot of people are dumb. You know what I mean? Like, I say that a lot. Like, that's, my audience on Instagram, they think that's funny.
Yeah.
Because I hate is a strong word, but I hate dumb people. like I really do. Like, I really just, and I've had to accept that there's more of us or more of them than us. You know what I mean? And it's just like, it's been a tough acceptance for me. You know what I mean? Like, it's been tough.
Those are my real
I think that's good.
But I think that's
good.
definitely.
All right, cool. How about that? Like, I need to get to the crib.
Nah, yeah.